Buongiorno, isn't it? Hopefully I got that Italian right. It's about the only word I know. We are in Livorno in Italy. It's like the fourth country in 4 days. This is a cool way of travelling. It's pretty hot and there's also quite a warm wind, which is why I'm holding the microphone like this, because I don't want you to get too much wind noise. I was going to go for a walk or something today, but after yesterday's exertions, I did 23,000 steps yesterday. I was so tired by the time I got back. So I decided I'm going to have a much more chill day today. So I have spent the morning just sitting around, playing Scrabble with some people I met, having a really lovely breakfast and a lovely lunch, and just chilling.
Surrounded by a defensive moat, which today is one of the many canals of Livorno, which we are crossing now. So
in the afternoon, I took one of the ship's excursions, a bus trip through Tuscany to Pisa.
You see that a boat in Livorno has nothing to do with luxury. It's just the simple need of the people to smell the salt of the sea. Tuscany belongs to the central part of Italy. We are on the western coast, on the Tyrrhenian coast, okay? Part of the Mediterranean. And Tuscany means to have beautiful places, cities like Pisa, Lucca, Florence, Siena, Volterra, San Gimignano, Pienza, Cortona, Montepulciano, Montalcino, I can go on half an hour if you like. That's all in Tuscany. Pisa is north of Livorno, okay? So south of Livorno along the coast. And most of them go land inwards towards Florence, Siena, Volterra, San Gimignano, and so on. So 70% of hills, 20% of mountains means just 10% of lowland. And that's exactly where we are going through now. But if I go to add that this lowland has a shape of a huge triangle going to open towards the seaside, maybe you can imagine what it was in the past. The huge delta of the Arno River. Now please remember, Arno, A-R-N-O, is our longest river of Tuscany. Comes from east, first through Florence, then the Tuscan landscape, through Pisa, 12 kilometers west of Pisa, simple mouth to the sea. Coming out the beautiful palaces along the riverside, the old fortress, which once was the entrance. In the background you have the Pisa Mountains, which are last Apennine Mountains. History of Pisa is over. We become part of the Grand Duchy of Tuscany, Florence, under the Medici family. And the unification of Italy started in 1816. So as a united country, Italy is a very young one, okay?
Buses aren't allowed to go into Pisa itself, so we were dropped on the edge of town and walked into the tower from there. It wasn't that long a walk, but it was very hot, so some of the passengers were finding it a bit difficult. And the closer we got to the tower, the more crowded it got.
And you will wonder, the church is inside. There are thousands of beautiful churches in the world.
We had the option of also touring the inside of some of the buildings, but I decided I'd rather have a walk around the town. The narrow winding streets were a lot cooler than being out in the open, and I found my way down to the Arno River and the palaces that we'd seen from the bus. I really enjoyed walking around on my own, but eventually I had to go back and meet up with the tour group again for our bus trip back to Livorno. And now we're on our way out of Livorno onto our next adventure. That was a fun day. Although it was cool to see the Leaning Tower of Pisa in person, I think what I really enjoyed about today was exploring the town. Once I got out of the tourist area, it felt like I was getting to see a glimpse of the real Italy, the parts that you don't get to see if you just follow the guides from tourist site to tourist site. Don't forget to do all those nice internety things like liking and subscribing and leave a comment. And I will see you next time. Ciao, Internet!